As coronavirus has gripped the United States in the last few weeks, many Americans have experienced packed grocery stores, panicked shoppers, and empty shelves. In Washington state, we wanted to know if our food supply chain was safe, so we went straight to the source, the people who make Washington's beef, dairy, produce, beer, and wine. Hey, Leanne.
Hello.
Hey, Chris. Hey, Patty. Well, I know that there has been a lot of maybe concern about empty grocery shelves, and what does that look like from your side of the supply chain?
Well, from the beef perspective, we're seeing a lot of empty shelves, but we also know that our packers in Washington are doing everything they can to keep the product going through the marketplace and keeping a smoothly running supply chain. I will think I've spoken to several retailers at this point, and they've said, we're going to see some spotty shortages on certain cuts here and there, but there'll always be beef in the meat case as far as they're concerned.
Yeah.
There'll be the supply will be strong, and the supply will be very safe. And so, because the USDA will continue to inspect as USDA does, there will be no differences in the safety of the beef supply.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting to watch the rest of the world, but for us as farmers, especially in dairy, it's our job to make sure that our cows are in the same routine that they were in yesterday, a week ago, and a month ago. So pretty much for them, they don't know that anything's going on.
Planting started prior to the introduction of the virus here. We generally start getting out in the field in early March, and we'll continue planting in the state up until about close to the end of May. And so at this point, all the planters are out in the field and things are progressing good. We haven't heard any reports of any impacts at this point.
The more we all act rationally, the better the smooth the flow.
Yeah.
All those products are still being made. All those channels are being distributed. The big disruption is really just people taking more than their, say, allocated share of traditional consumption use.
Yeah.
So of course you're going to see shelves get blown out if you're buying 5 months supply of something when that's never actively happened.
Yeah. Right.
So I'll give you an example. Beer, there's going to be more than enough beer in every single store. And the reason is the breweries that make beer right now are no longer kegging beer. So
Yeah.
100% of their production channel is into packages.
Yeah.
Along with the closing or temporary closing of restaurants and bars and entertainment and recreational facilities, it also includes wineries and tasting rooms. And out of our 1,000 roughly wineries, 960 of them or so are considered small business, and they rely on tasting room sales, and they rely on premise sales, so in restaurant sales. So those have been hit pretty hard.
We had all this product that was in restaurants that now will need to be diverted to retail stores. So there should be actually some smoking deals on some pretty high quality beef coming through the marketplace over the next few months if this continues.
The good news for consumers is that our cows are still milking every day. The milk truck is still coming into our driveway every night to pick up milk, and the processing plants are still running at full capacity. So have a little patience. We'll get milk to you, I promise.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well, potatoes are a great product to have on hand at all times, just because they're so versatile.
Yeah.
And so that's probably why we saw a shortage in the grocery stores, is people grab them. They're a perishable item, but they actually have a pretty good shelf life.
Yeah.
But everybody be rest assured that we've got plenty of potatoes. Our growers and shippers have been washing potatoes and sorting them and packing them in bags and boxes and getting them on trucks and getting them out to distribution centers and grocery stores. So while you might experience some short-term shortages on the shelves, we've got plenty of potatoes, and at this point, a fair amount of truck drivers to deliver them.
Yeah.
So far, we haven't had any major agricultural events that affected the grapes anyways. We have plenty of supply of Washington wine finished products in the supply system. We haven't seen any shortages of wine, which is great.
Yeah.
So when people go and they stock up on toilet paper, they can buy at least 2 cases of Washington wine for every roll of toilet paper. And it should be fine.
That's a pretty good ratio.
With Washington grown, and really how fortunate we are to live in a region and a state where all the ingredients are right in our backyard.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't live in the middle. Yeah, let's just say Florida. and everything you buy in Florida is coming from somewhere else.
Yeah.
I mean, we can literally make beer with every single thing within a very short car ride from here.
Right.
And we're just so blessed and so fortunate that our channel of food is very close.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty special thing.